WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Michael K. is on the radio today, and he ain't afraid to say what he's thinking. It's the Michael K. Show on 880 ESPN Radio.
And a good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show. We thank you for joining us on a beautiful Monday. It's March 9th. It is 2026. Me and you for two. Those are the rules of engagement. And it's the fastest 2 hours in sports talk radio. And we've got to squeeze in a lot in these 2 hours because there's a lot going on. All right. Obviously, the legal tampering period has started in the NFL, so some things coming across the board. You just heard Bart and Carlin talk about Isaiah likely signing a 3-year deal with the Giants. Some other things going on around the league. We will get them to you as they pertain mostly to the Giants and the Jets. Minkah Fitzpatrick traded to the Jets, so they immediately will sign him to an extension as well, adding a veteran to their secondary. So we'll get on all of that as they become available. The illegal tampering period started at noon, so we will be rocking and rolling through these 2 hours, and you keep it right here because we have the full power of ESPN, Rich Samini, Jordan Ronan, and of course Adam Schefter as well. So we'll take a look at that as it happens. Let's go back to yesterday, and let's go to the New York Knicks getting slapped around by the LA Lakers. And this one doesn't concern me that much. The Knicks have been playing a lot of high-intensity games. And if you watch yesterday's game, what happened was they were shot. They were exhausted. They would not get in front of defenders. They couldn't. They seemed tired. They seemed a step slow. And then once the offensive player got by them, well, then they reached. And when you reach, you're going to commit fouls, and that's exactly what they did. They sent the Lakers to the line 30 times to their 21 yesterday. So they ended up losing the game by a score of 110-97. But it was a pretty good weekend when you consider that on Friday, the Knicks went into Denver, and they beat Denver by 39 points in the Mile High City. That's not too bad. So at the end of that 5-game gauntlet that we talked about, they ended up being 3-2, losing to Oklahoma City by 3 points, and then getting slapped around in L.A. against the Lakers. They finish up the Los Angeles portion of their trip with a game against the Clippers tonight. We'll see how they respond after playing so poorly and so fatigued yesterday. Remember, they lost an hour's sleep with the clocks moving up. That's number one. Number two was an early start in L.A. Still no excuse, but you have one if you want one. That was the story with the Knicks yesterday, as the Lakers just seemed a little bit better. A little bit better. Doesn't mean that they are better, but just a little bit better. So the Knicks are jockeying right now for where they're going to finish in their playoff seedings. At this point, they're 5.5 games behind the Pistons. Pistons have started to slide back just a little bit, but I think that's just a little bit of a correction to the mean. I think they'll still finish first. Bad news for the Knicks would be, if you saw the 2 games that Jason Tatum played, he has not lost much after being out 10 months with the Achilles injury. He looked pretty good. And Boston's taken 2 games, so they gained a game on the Knicks over the weekend. So Boston sits firmly in second place. The Knicks are in third. Cavaliers are in fourth. And there was an interesting story by James Edwards III in The Athletic breaking down exactly what it would mean for the Knicks to finish in certain places. So James thinks that the best thing for the Knicks would be to finish fourth behind the Cavaliers. He said because the first team that you would play would be Toronto, which is going to finish fifth. And the Knicks have handled Toronto very, very well. Then in the second round, they would indeed have to face the Pistons. And if you're going to get to the finals, you have to beat the Pistons anyway, in all likelihood. And his thinking is the Pistons have never won, this Piston team never won a playoff series, lost last year to the Knicks, acquitted themselves quite nicely, but they did lose. So you're gonna face a Pistons team playing in the second round for the first time, assuming that they get by their first round matchup, which they should. So James likes the fourth seed best for the Knicks. Now, in all likelihood, the Knicks are going to finish with the 3rd seed, which James thinks is the worst matchup for them because the Sixers could be the 6th seed. And the Sixers, they are going to have Embiid. They'll get back Paul George. Maxi's off only a couple of games with his injury, so he'll be back. And then VJ Edgecombe. That's a really talented offensive team. So that's not going to be an easy first-round matchup if, in fact, the Sixers finish with the number 6 seed, which could be. And if they don't finish with the number 6 seed, it could be Miami, an athletic team, a team that a guy, Bam Adebayo, certainly knows how to match up with Karl Anthony Towns. So that could be a difficult seeding for them, and that's the most likely ending spot for them with 17 games left to play. So now we look at what would happen if they have the 2nd seed. Once again, they're going to end up playing one of the play-in teams. 1st and 2nd seeds will play one of the play-in seeds. So we told you about Philly and the problems that they could give them. They could face Charlotte. Since Christmas, they have the number 1 offense in the league. They could face Orlando, not good offensively, but really can play defense, or they could face Miami. So the 2nd seed comes somewhat fraught with peril as well. So we'll see exactly which way it goes. One other thing, and I'll mention it again, I think the Celtics are legitimate. They are a legitimate playoff team now. They're a legitimate playoff team because a championship team, Jason Tatum can play. Jason Tatum does not look like he's missed a step. And he's only going to get better. You can see how happy he is on the interview after yesterday's game. He just seems overjoyed to be back playing again. So I give him credit. I really do give him credit. And unbelievable rehab. And here he is back. And in the words of Greeny, he might be better than ever. So they played to a 41-win mark before they got him back. And they added one of the best players in basketball to a team that was 2nd in the Eastern Conference the way it is. So he does pose some problems. They might be more problematic than the Pistons right now. So if the Knicks are going to make the finals, they're going to face 2 really good teams. Now what they have to hope is that in the first round, they're not facing a really good team. A team that, say, again, the best matchup for them would be Toronto. Because they've beaten up Toronto during the regular season. I don't think Toronto poses any significant problems for them. Now, one thing about yesterday's game that stands out, it's so frustrating, and I don't want to continually bring this up because it's not fair to the guy. You know, Joel Sherman said something in a column last week that one of the biggest marks against Jason Dominguez is that somebody gave him the nickname of the Martian. You know, otherworldly, out of this world, like an alien, he's so good. And he was held up to that level because of that silly nickname that somebody gave him. I don't even know who gave him that nickname. Now, Mikal Bridges is held up to the fact that the Knicks, for some reason or another, gave up 5 first-round draft picks for him. So we expect him to play like a guy that you gave up 5 first-round draft picks for. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. He's inconsistent. There are games where he shows up and he looks terrific. Absolutely terrific. And then there are games like yesterday. He didn't score. He didn't score. Now, he didn't have high volume because he got in foul trouble. He was 0 for 6. How many great players don't score in a game, in an NBA game? Think about it. How many great players are kept off the board in an NBA game? It's phenomenal. It is absolutely mind-boggling that Bridges, who played well in the previous 2 or 3 games, then doesn't show up yesterday. Now, you get have bad games, but you can contribute in other ways because, you know, before yesterday's game, for 2 or 3 games, Jalen Brunson wasn't scoring, but he was contributing to winning, dishing out 15, 17 assists. So if the ball's not going in the basket for him, he still finds a way to help the team win. Mikal Bridges did nothing to help the team win. He was so bad that Jordan Clarkson played in the fourth quarter. Now, let me tell you about the fourth quarter as well. If you watch that game, okay, if you watch that game, the bottom line is this. They had chances with 4 minutes left, and they had about 3 or 4 possessions where they couldn't get the ball in the hoop. No one could score. They were trying to come back from 23 down, and it looked like they had a chance, but they could not score yesterday. Football note, 37-year-old linebacker Demario Davis signing with the Jets, 2 years, $22 million, $15 million guaranteed. Remember, the Jets come into this with $73.5 million in cap space. So Minka Fitzpatrick trade and then the subsequent signing, and now Demario Davis, 2 years, $22 million, $15 guaranteed. We're still waiting on what the Jets are going to do with the quarterback situation. All right, let's hear from you, 1-800-919-3776. We'll talk about the WBC a little bit later on. Great drama, great things going on, and it's very, very entertaining. It really is. And I've always said that I liked it. I question why some players played in it, but these players that are playing in it, they absolutely love it. It means a lot to them, and you can see it means a lot to them. Just watch the way they play. Watch the way they celebrate, what it means to each and every one of them. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. 1-800-919-3776. We'll start out with Deb in Queens. Deb.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
Good, Deb. How you doing?
I'm good. I heard your opening conversations about the Knicks regarding, I think it was yesterday's game was a one-off. I really liked the win against the Nuggets on Friday. But I think what's really concerning is that, and this is going to be a joke, but yesterday, me, you, and Mikal Bridges had the same number of points.
It's amazing.
Which was 0.
It's unbelievable.
And that is just ridiculous to me because I don't know how they can continue with this level of inconsistency.
And that's a perfect definition, Deb, for what he is. He's inconsistent. There are games that you watch and he plays great. He can't miss. And then there are games where he goes away. When you're trying to win a championship, right? You can't have important players in your starting five just go away. Just be non-factors. Again, I'm going to look at yesterday's game as a one-off. I think you said it well. It's a one-off. They've been playing very, very well, and they didn't play well in L.A. They were exhausted. They were mentally sapped. They had Saturday night in L.A., so who knows if they got the proper rest. I have no idea. I'm not going to cast aspersions, but players do get tired in L.A. There's a lot of things to distract you, and then it was an early wake-up call where they lost an hour because of the clocks. 1-800-919-3776. Ulysses in White Plains. What's up, you?
Hey, how are you, Mike? It's great
I'm
to talk
good.
to you again.
Oh, thanks for calling.
So this is the only issue I have. Every time you speak about Bridges, I listen to your show every day, you bring up the 4 first-round picks. I think the major issue us Knicks fans have is because 5 first-round picks, yes. He was touted to be a defensive menace like a Dylan Brooks, a Ron Artest, a Duran, and he just hasn't been that. We know he's a 3rd or 4th option. I think a lot of Knicks fans know that. But it's a defensive intensity that he does not play with. He doesn't do hard fouls, doesn't get technical fouls. He doesn't back up our players. It's like he's a weaker version, a taller version of what Alvarado's opposite would be. He just doesn't play with the tenacity, and that's why we're upset. It's not because of the first-round picks. He's not a Dylan Brooks guy. We had Dylan Brooks, would be good.
If you had gotten him for a more reasonable package, I don't think we'd be upset. And when you're saying, he's a defensive lockdown guy, the Knicks have that guy in OG Anunoby. So they wouldn't have given up 5 first-round draft picks if they thought the guy was just a defensive lockdown guy. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe they got fooled because for the first time in his career, he was the main option offensively in Brooklyn, and they let him score. So they saw a different side of him. He's now the 4th option. 4th. He might even be the 5th sometimes when they're on the floor. To me, Josh Hart's more of an offensive option than Mikal Bridges. For the most part, Josh Hart is going to give you the same effort level and the same production every single game. He's going to pick up garbage points. He's going to get the dirty points. He's going to get the 50-50 balls. He's going to get the 30-70 balls. He's going to play tenacious defense, pull down rebounds, and be tough. I just can't say that about Bridges. And this is not piling on Bridges, and I really do believe that our view of him is skewed because of the first-round draft picks. And on top of that, we could all sit here and wonder, hey, maybe they would have been able to get Giannis if they had those first-round draft picks, if they held on to them. But those first-round draft picks were burning a hole in the Knicks' pocket, and they wanted to get rid of them. They want to cash in on him. I mean, you look at the package that Cleveland gave up for Donovan Mitchell to Utah, and everybody rolled their, oh, that's a lot. Well, Donovan Mitchell's lived up to it. And Rudy Gobert, they gave up an unbelievable package to get Rudy Gobert, the Timberwolves, and he's lived up to it because he is a defensive menace and pulls down rebounds. So you tell me, investing that kind of draft capital, what they got in Mikal Bridges, that would be worth 5 first-round draft picks. Tell me. I'm all ears. A couple of games back, he had a great game. I think he was like 6 for 8 from 3-point, and you go, oh, yeah, there it is. That's the guy. And then no points? Who doesn't score in a game? What guy in a starting 5 and a championship contending team doesn't score in a full game? David on the east side.
All right, before I make my point on Mike Brown, I just want to chime in real quick on Bridges. This guy is allergic to charging the basket and making contact on offense. Every 2-point shot is a fadeaway. I think he's worried about getting banged up because he wants to keep his streak alive. Now, this is not a serious suggestion. It's more of a rhetorical one, but maybe Mike Brown should consider benching Bridges for one game to kill the streak, and maybe he'll get more aggressive on offense.
I think that I think the streak doesn't mean anything, David, because the last game of last year, he played 35 seconds. To me, it's crap. What does that mean? Because if he's not going to help the team and not going to be aggressive and draw fouls, and he goes to the free throw line, he averages about 2 free throws a game in the NBA. And you're right, every single shot he takes is a fadeaway. He never leans in. But, that's the Knicks offense, too. I'm sorry. They're driving to the lane. They have an easy lane to get 2 points, and they always kick it out to the side. But that's the NBA. Now, if you're going to spit on the 2 points, okay, if you're trying to get 3. But Bridges is spitting on going to the basket, and then he's falling away, and he's still going for 2. I didn't intend for this to be a Bridges bashing, but it's frustrating to watch a guy who obviously has talent to just disappear for a game. Before we take our next phone call, let me just get you caught up. So I was talking about on Friday about the Magic City promotion that they're having in Atlanta. And listen, I said I have nothing against strip clubs, nothing. As long as the women are there on their own volition, they're all adults. They can do what they want. The people that go there and pay the money, they could do what they want. They're not doing anything illegal. And, one man's immoral is another man. That's fine. I don't pass judgment on that. I pass judgment on an NBA team honoring a strip club. Now, Mike from New Jersey on X said that this was from a white male speaking from white privilege, which I didn't quite understand. And, before we take Mike, who, wasn't able to call on Friday and he's calling in right now, I don't know any other way to view it. I'm a white male. So, I mean, the life that I've lived is going to influence how I see things. But please don't make me out to be, white privilege. I grew up in the South Bronx. My parents were really, really poor. So when you say privilege like that, we can get into that discussion as well. You're not talking to a silver spoon child. That's not me. That's not me. I've seen the world from a different lens than what you might think because I've reached some level of success in my adult life. But as a child, scrapped and clawed for everything, went to Fordham on financial aid, that's the life I've lived. But Mike said that I'm judging the Magic City thing through the lens of a white male, which I am, and white privilege, which we could talk about now. We're all set up. Here's Mike in New Jersey. Hi, Mike. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, how you doing, Mikey?
Good, man.
All right, so first and foremost, I want to let you know I was born and raised in the Bronx, went to PS 121, IS 144, and spent half my freshman year at Cardinal Spellman before I moved to Jersey. I moved down here to Atlanta in 2018.
Oh, so you're in Atlanta now?
I'm in Atlanta now.
Okay.
I've been down here since 2018.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I did armed security for a competing establishment to Magic City. So
Okay.
I understand the culture, okay? And what I want to say is, one, I was using the word euphemism. I mean, I was using the word urban on X as a euphemism for black culture. Okay. I went online and I looked, and I have seen no records of any comments that you've made about the Chicago White Sox in April 2024 when they partnered with the Playboy Group to start selling Playboy hard Alka-Seltzer at their stadiums.
I did not know that.
Are you not as concerned with the fan base? You were worried about the children and them asking their parents about what Magic City is. But here we go with the White Sox, have the iconic Playboy bunny on the hard Alka-Seltzer can.
I had no idea that took place. I'll claim total ignorance on that.
Okay, yeah.
And
so
it is
April
liquor.
2024, and they currently still sell it in their stadium, according to what I researched earlier.
Okay.
So this is what I'm talking about. Playboy was started by Hugh Hefner, who happens to be a Caucasian male, and Magic City is founded and started by an African-American male. The Hawks are doing a one-day event. The White Sox have been selling this hard Alka-Seltzer, this hard seltzer, since April 2024. You have all these negative thoughts towards the Hawks for partnering with Magic City, but you didn't even know that the Chicago White Sox have partnered with Playboy.
Yeah, but first of all, the Chicago White Sox, from what you're saying, again, I'm not aware of the situation. They're selling liquor. Liquor is not sold to children. Magic City, honoring Magic City, a strip club, every kid that walks in there is going to say, well, what's this about? Why are we honoring Magic City?
Kids aren't going to Magic City. And the Hawks are not forcing parents to take whatever they're giving, so it's up to the discretion of the parent as to whether or not they want to take it or not.
But Mike, even if it's a cultural iconic part of Atlanta, from what I understand it's still a strip club. You think that's
and Playboy is still a nudie magazine.
But you keep bringing that up, and that's a liquor that they're selling.
Okay, because what I'm showing is the parallels. They both are from the same industry, the adult entertainment industry. You have no issue, or you had no issue with the White Sox partnering with Playboy.
You keep saying I had no issue. I don't even know what you're talking about with that. This is right in our face. They are honoring Magic City. Listen, I don't want to be the fuddy-duddy. I have no problem with strip clubs. Why did the Hawks have to do it?
Because Magic City is a staple in Atlanta. And it means so much to hip-hop, urban culture, right? Because it's a place where a lot of our people gather, entertainers perform. It also helps the economy in the area because the dancers have to get makeup done. They have to buy outfits. So that finance is rotating and fluctuating in our economy down here in Atlanta. One, okay? So that's why it's such a staple, okay, to the culture. It's only a one-night event. Like I said, it's only one night, as opposed to the White Sox, who have been selling this alcohol.
Oh, you keep bringing up the White Sox, Mike. Let's get past that. Let me ask you a question. If the Knicks had a hustler club night, you cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely. As a parent, it's my discretion what I expose my children to.
You have a different view of it than I do.
I don't have to bring my kids to that game if I don't want them to see it.
But why would a sports team, right, put themselves in a position where a family would say, I'm not going to bring my kids to this? Why would they ever do that? For what? What's the advantage?
Because they see a greater financial benefit. So you miss out on one family, but you might get 10 single men that come and spend more than that one family did.
But for what? To get a Magic City sweatshirt? If you want to enjoy Magic City, go to Magic City.
But that's what you're failing to understand, or what you're failing to relay to your guests. It's not like the Magic City workers are coming there performing at halftime and getting naked. This is just an association with a brand that is a staple in Atlanta culture, in the black culture, in hip-hop culture. 70%, 70.4 if I'm not mistaken, of the NBA is made up of people who identify as black, between players and staff. Mm-hmm. This is why Adam Silver's not saying, because he understands that this is all being pushed by the hip-hop culture.
But there are a lot of businesses, Mike, that are owned by African Americans that aren't strip clubs that you could partner with them.
And that's fine. And the White Sox could have went with Smirnoff. They could have went with Mike's Hard Lemonade, but they chose Playboy. They chose Playboy.
What you did,
so
Mike,
every business has their right to choose who they want.
It's not even comparable, dude. You chose this one little minuscule thing, right? about the White Sox, which that was never even blown up to anything, and it's an adult beverage where you have to go to a bar and show an ID to get it, okay? They're trumpeting a strip club. It's Magic City night at the Atlanta Hawks Arena. You're telling me that's comparable? It's apples and wrenches, Mike. It's apples and wrenches. And you're telling me, well, strip clubs have to get dressed, and that also helps the economy. Oh, okay. Then there's a lot of things that help the economy. Not just women that strip that have to wear nice outfits. I mean, that's a stretch, man. Listen, I give you credit for calling in. I said that you didn't call in on Friday and you called in. Just keep bringing up the White Sox thing. Two wrongs, and I don't even think it's comparable. Two wrongs certainly don't make a right. So partnering with Playboy, which doesn't even exist anymore. It's a brand. It doesn't even exist the way people think of Playboy. This exists. Everybody's saying it's a cultural institution. It's a strip club. You can dress it up whichever way you want. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a strip club. I think there's something wrong for a major sports franchise to partner with a strip club even for one night. Doesn't make sense. Everybody keeps saying the cultural institution. So what? So what? If it's a cultural institution, then you should continue to go and you should continue to support Magic City. Go do it. It doesn't have to be connected to basketball. And Adam Silver's not saying it because he's so close with players and he's afraid to get in their face about anything. And the bottom line is he's probably afraid to say it. Probably afraid to say anything. There are people in the NBA that know right from wrong. It's stupid that they're partnering with them. Stupid. It's incongruous. And you keep bringing up the White Sox. It's not even comparable. Not even comparable. You're talking about a liquor that you have to go to a bar in a stadium to get and show a license or an ID that you're of age. But little Timmy and little Bobby are going to come into that game against on March 16th, and they're going to ask them, what is Magic City? And you have to say, well, it's a cultural institution. A lot of rappers hang there. And also, by the way, women strip for money. Yeah, oh, okay, I'll play along. Oh, my God. Really? Come on. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Ravens punter Jordan Stout headed to the Giants, according to Peter Schrager. So tapping in, John Harbaugh is to his Ravens past. 1-800-919-3776. We continue to roll on the K Show right here on ESPN New York.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money.
You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. I'm big on having the right game plan on the ice and at home, which is why I use Viking Pest Control myself as the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils. Viking has been protecting homes for over 45 years with expert pest control service and solutions tailored just for you. From ants and cockroaches to rodents, stinging insects, and backyard mosquitoes, Viking keeps pests out of your house and out of the play. Bundle pest control with mosquito services and save big. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Viking Pest Control, protecting your home inside and out.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Become a Yankees Universe Fan Club member today. The Rookie and Explorer packages are now available. All Yankees Universe members receive a membership card, 2 tickets to a 2026 Yankees home game, access to a members-only website, and MLB audio at bat. Plus, Rookie members get an official New York Yankees t-shirt. A portion of all proceeds benefits pediatric cancer research at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Join Yankees Universe today at yankees.com/universe.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering 25% off windows and doors or 0% APR for 72 months. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends March 31st, 2026.
It's tournament time when the most talented teams survive and advance. And whether you're cutting down the nets or cutting through resumes, one thing's clear. The best teams are built with the best people. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. Their smart matching technology finds qualified candidates fast. You can add screening questions to get the right applicants and even filter to see who's recently active. Score the best for your team with ZipRecruiter. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Well, ESPN New York is taking over Calandra's Italian Village in Caldwell, New Jersey on Wednesday, March 18th. Join Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live starting at 3 p.m. with a special happy hour you do not want to miss. Come hang out, talk sports, and get ready for a huge night on the ice. Then stick around for the Rangers and Devils watch party with a 7 p.m. puck drop. Big screens, great food, unbeatable atmosphere, and the best fans in hockey all under one roof. Reservations are recommended. To book your table, call 973-226-8889. See Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live at Calandra's Italian Village in Caldwell, New Jersey, Wednesday, March 18th, starting at 3 p.m. All right, we told you going into the break about the deal the Giants have with the Ravens free agent punter Jordan Stout. It's 3 years, $12.3 million, according to Adam Schefter. Makes him the NFL's highest paid punter. And he reunites with his former coach, John Harbaugh. Let's go to Anthony in Bayside. Anthony.
Mr. Michael, first off, I just want to say, long-time listener, first-time caller. It's a pleasure to talk to you, man.
Thank you, Anthony. Thanks for calling.
Legend to, of course, you've been a legend to us Yankee fans, and you've been the voice of some of our childhoods into adulthood. So we hope to continue hearing your voice and keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, I just wanted to back you up a little, man, because it was kind of crazy hearing what that guy had to argue with. I thought he was going to have a decent point in the beginning. But yeah, I mean, I'm somebody who studied sports in college. I'm under 30 years old, so you could say I'm in support of the strip clubs a little bit, but not in that sense. There's a time and a place for things, and definitely not a night for a professional sports team, you know? Like you said, what if kids want to go to that game? What if it's their only opportunity of the year to go to that game? And you never know if you have that opportunity again.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm going to tell you what we're up against, though, Ant, all right? Because we, in our last days, tweeted out, got to sit this Magic City talk out. Out of touch with the times and what Atlanta is about. Relax. Little Timmy and Bobby will be patrons at some point in or out of Atlanta. Why do I have to sit this out? I'm not saying abolish Magic City. I'm not saying anything about Magic City. I'm sure it's a good time. And I'm sure it is a cultural part of Atlanta. It's a strip club. Whatever you want, you can wrap in whatever you want. People are not going there for the wings. They're going there for the breast. It's a strip club. That's my disconnect. I don't have to sit anything out. I understand how important it is in Atlanta. Doesn't mean that the Hawks have to partner with a strip club. That's my only point. That's my only point. I'm not saying anything against Magic City. But there has to be a separation in this case between family entertainment and a strip club. So everybody keeps saying it's a cultural institution in Atlanta. Let me ask you a question. Do they bring kids there? Are you allowed to bring kids into Magic City because of the great pepper wings, lemon pepper wings? No, you're not. Because it is what it is. I'm not saying that what it is wrong, but it is what it is. You're not bringing Timmy and Bobby to Magic City, but you're going to bring Timmy and Bobby to the Hawks game where you have to explain what Magic City's about. Okay, and I'm out of touch. Why do I have to sit it out? I don't get it. Everybody keeps saying you don't understand Atlanta. Oh, okay, I don't understand Atlanta, but I understand right from wrong. You're partnering up with a strip club. So when there's legalized prostitution, let's say, I don't know, in Texas, should the Mavs have a night for that? Think about it. I mean, there's some things that should be separated. I'll repeat because I don't want this coming back to me. Nothing wrong with strip clubs. If people that are in there are on there because they want to be, and the performers are there because they want to be and they're not forced to be, fine. It's not illegal. Nothing wrong with it. But it should not be partnered with the Hawks to promote them. Lamar, New Jersey. Lamar.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you great. Thank you.
All right, thank you. First-time caller. Love listening
Welcome
to the
aboard. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I just wanted to touch basically on what you guys and second your sentiment about it. And I think with the first caller, Mike, what he's done is he's been entrenched into that environment, so he can't see anything past it. And more so, I want to say that you talk about Timmy and Bobby. Well, what about Aubrey and what about Christina? What does that do to them on a night like that when they go into the Atlanta Hawks? Because we just think it's male, younger fans. No, there's female fans of basketball.
You're absolutely right. Good point. Good point. Yep.
When they have to ask their parents, well, what is this celebration about? And you have to, have that conversation with them prematurely in today's day and age, where everything is, the context of women are over-sexualized. I don't want to go too far on a radio station, but we get the gist. It's not even just about the males.
There's also a little added thing to this too, Lamar. That I think Jamie Gertz, the actress, is married to the owner of the Hawks, and she did a whole documentary on Magic City. A whole documentary laying out exactly what it is, and almost celebrating it. I understand it. So the owners of the Hawks have no problem doing this, because they look at it as Mike from New Jersey said, cultural institution, and they're honoring it. Okay, so if Jamie Gertz and her husband don't see the problem with it, cool. Questionable, but cool. That's when Adam Silver steps in, but nothing. Not a peep out of him. Not a peep out of him. Game Time brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 6:10 p.m., the Mets play the Marlins. And at 6:35, the Yankees play the Pirates in spring training action. 7 p.m., Rangers are in Philadelphia to play the Flyers. Coverage begins 6:30 p.m. on 1050 ESPN. 7:30, the Nets host the Grizzlies at Barclays Center. 8 p.m., United States plays Mexico in the World Baseball Classic. 10 p.m., the Knicks are in Inglewood to play the Clippers. Coverage begins at 9:30 p.m. right here on 880 ESPN. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew. Try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glass up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Let's go to Ira in Staten Island. Ira.
Phil, how are you? Before I get to the Jets, the topic you're talking about right now, I agree with you 100%. It's you're a father. My kids are all grown up. But you take your children to a game, how do you explain it to them? It's insanity, and the morals in this country are just insane. But getting to the Jet stuff, it was very predictable. The defense was a sieve. They signed I think it was 4 players today.
Do you like the Minkah Fitzpatrick deal?
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, anything they had is better than what they had.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was good. A 7th-round pick is nothing. I love the Demario Davis, even though he's 37, 38. I'm glad they got him back. And I'm going to go on record as saying this, and maybe you could double-check with Rich when you have him on in a little while. I would say he's the first player in NFL history where a team drafted him, cut him or released him twice, and then re-signed him 3 times. I don't think any other player in the history of the NFL that's happened to.
Do you think the Jets are better after what they've done?
On paper, I still think the coach is limited, and I think this is all about Moody getting, things right for next year and getting the right head coach and getting the right quarterback. I want Glenn to prove it to me that he's a legitimate coach, and until he proves it to me, I'm going to continue to say he's not the guy to take the Jets to where we want him to go.
And that's the weird part, Ira, because I felt that when this happened, right, that Aaron was over Darren. I thought that Aaron was the boss of Darren. Now I think the sands of influence might be shifting a little bit because Muji has done a good job at his job, and in the first year, Aaron Glenn didn't. We'll see. Let's go to Jose in Connecticut. Jose?
Hey, Mike. How you doing, sir?
Good.
Well, I'm good, man. I agree with the other caller didn't do a good job, but I do a lot of business in Atlanta as a consultant, and I just want to give you another perspective, okay? Because where you kind of got it wrong, where you showed you don't understand the culture there. Magic City is not just a strip club. Their food is so popular that they're on Goldbelly. They have the kitchen takeout, which they're promoting. The wings, you can get them on DoorDash, and they're starting to make more money on food now than they are actually on that. But I understand your concerns, but what I want to also bring is not just that part. My part is we're okay with promoting gambling, alcohol, weed. Even you agreed that it was okay for the Girl Scouts to sell in front of the dispensary. We can't shield the kids. The kids in Atlanta know what Magic City is. So it's not you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying I understand where's the line is kind of when people are worrying about, but I believe it is. We can't be okay with all the other adult things that we're promoting and making money in front of our kids and then just have outrage over a place where they really are more than that, right? To my when my kids did ask me at the Westside Highway, what's that Hustler Club? Well, my son did. I said it's a bar for adults. You can't go, So I just want people to understand.
You didn't bring up the stripping.
No, why would I? That same thing with Magic City.
But
they're not.
But Jose, it's more than a bar. You're making Magic City out to be a place for wings, but it's really a place for breasts.
But what I'm trying to understand is that even corporations order their wings to corporate functions. They're not just a strip club. Their biggest seller right now, is their Magic City Kitchen. They have a legit Magic City Kitchen. So I understand what you're saying. I don't get mad at people being upset about it. I'm just saying the big picture is we're can't be hypocrites with how we're promoting adult things to kids and have outrage over this, right?
Can I tell you one thing, Jose? Can I tell you one thing?
Yeah.
You brought up the best point of the 2 days we've talked about this. Because now gambling is right in our face. And in the past, we would look at that and say, well, that's ridiculous. It shouldn't be. And you have to explain gambling to your kids. That's the best point. So I guess what we do then, Jose, and you made me think about it, is we've got to draw the line, okay, what's acceptable and what's not. And strip clubs are legal and gambling is legal. So I guess to me, the bridge too far is it's a strip club. And I understand what you're saying, but again, you made a great point, and you're welcome to call in anytime, especially when you make me think. Because if we're pushing gambling now, it's all over the place. It's on the big board at Madison Square Garden. It's on all the roller boards. It's on the ice, whatever the case may be. That's okay now. That's been accepted. Maybe at some point, strip clubs are going to be accepted. Maybe what we're turning into as a world is Sodom and Gomorrah. I have no idea. I don't understand what the next step is. But that's a great, great point. That's a great point because now gambling, we couldn't even have thought about this 10 years ago, that it would be such a part of the sport. It's as much as a part of the sport as a touchdown or a field goal or a three-point shot. It is. And it props up sports now. And that's okay. And the Atlanta Hawks are the first place that's saying, okay, now we're going to really prop up Magic City. And everybody keeps talking about, I understand, from what I know, and I was talking to some people over the weekend, strip clubs are known to have great food. Great food. They don't serve just trash food. They serve top-of-the-line food because they're serving people with money, and if you're going to eat, you want to have good food. So I listen, I understand the lemon pepper wings might be amazing, but it's not the wings that they didn't open up with the wings. They opened up with the breast, and then they happen to serve you good wings. So since the wings are so good, they are selling them, whatever the case may be. But they're not celebrating the wings at the Atlanta Hawks because I'm sure they're not going to have a Raising Cane's night because they have great chicken tenders. Raising Cane's would have to pay them money to do that. They're celebrating Magic City really for the wings. Is that what it's really known for? And I keep having the cultural thing thrown at me. Why? So culturally, it's okay in Atlanta to have a day dedicated to a strip club. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm out of touch. I will stand corrected. I must be out of touch. FanDuel giving all customers a profit boost every single day through March 15th. From now till that final 68 is revealed, you're getting daily profit boosts for a chance at boosted winnings on your college basketball bets. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single day. Build a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout, or try live betting and jump in after tip-off. Best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
More people trust their hearts to New York Presbyterian than any other hospital in New York. It's because New York Presbyterian has the most experienced cardiovascular doctors, treating a full range of heart conditions, from heart failure to valve repair, with the most advanced treatments. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital, based on U.S. News & World Report 2025 to 2026 cardiology, heart, and vascular surgery rankings.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Rings End is your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. They're your store for quality with a full line of brilliant and durable Benjamin Moore paints. They're your store for inspiration with thousands of colors and a variety of sheens. And Rings End is your store for expertise with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. Insist on Benjamin Moore paint from Rings End, because the gorgeous color you love can't be matched in another brand of paint.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
New York Knicks fans, here's a total slam dunk. For a limited time, get Verizon Fios and Alina Mobile for just $64.99 a month. Get Fios 300 megabit per second for $20 a month. And unlimited welcome for $45 a month plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone. Visit a Verizon store today to learn more. For new Fios internet and mobile customers, discounts applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. Plan prices require auto pay. Additional terms apply. For welcome unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right, it almost feels wrong. Because right now, you can get great deals on our most popular models, including our adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid and the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Plus, there's our bold and stylish Elantra, loaded with the latest tech. Or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 9. So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll love during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details. Rich Eisen here. For small businesses, every hire counts, and so does your time. Hiring can quickly become overwhelming, from sorting applications to figuring out who's truly qualified. That's where LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps. It streamlines the process so you can focus on connecting with the right candidates, not managing the noise. Hire right the first time. Post your job and get $100 off towards your job post at linkedin.com/Eisen. That's linkedin.com/Eisen. Terms and conditions apply.
Don Hahn and Rosenberg is live from the Big East Tournament presented by Schweppes, Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, and Samuel Adams. Join THR broadcasting live from the Irish Exit inside Moynihan Train Hall for a Big East extravaganza. Big East legends Charles Smith and Walter Berry will join us on site as we break down the action and relive the glory days. All courtesy of Schweppes. Stop by beginning at 3 p.m. Enter to win great prizes and make the Irish Exit your headquarters when the Big East takes center stage. Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea is available at Bourbon and Branch and Taylor Pub. Must be 21 or older to purchase. Please drink responsibly.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what athletes try to accomplish when they make these snarky comments on social media. So Breece Hall, who obviously is not happy that the Jets franchise tagged him and they can't come to a long-term agreement, he tweets out about 40 minutes ago, "Dan, we sure got a lot of money in Florham Park, all these contracts dudes signing." 3 laughing, crying emojis. How does that help his cause? So who was that to? Is it to Woody? Is it to Darren Muji? Is it to Aaron? Who's he reaching with that? How is that advancing his cause to get the long-term contract that he wants? Listen, to all the players that don't like to be franchised, you agreed to it in the collective bargaining agreement. You agreed to it. You ratified that contract. So when a team uses it, you can't get your nose out of joint. They're just using that something that you signed off on. You signed off. That was not a hill that you were willing to die on, was it? You signed off on it. And now because it's applied to you, you're upset and you're sending out these snarky tweets. And again, you have every right to express your opinion. But how does that advance the ball in football parlance? How does that help you get the contract you want? So maybe what are you trying to do? Tick off the Jets so they end up getting rid of you? No, that's not going to happen. They have you now. You have no leverage at all because of the franchise tag that you and all of the constituents of the NFL signed off on. You did. You did it. And now you're going to get your nose out of place because they're giving money to other people. Well, they don't have to give money to you because of the franchise tag that you ratified. You guys got to stop. You guys got to stop. Kev on the island. Kev.
Hey, what's good, co-host? How you doing?
Good, Kev. Welcome aboard, co-host.
Well, all right. How you doing?
Good.
Mike, real quick, maybe as it goes, it's a little bit of soapboxing. I don't know if you'd agree with that because individuals are probably looking at it. I've been down in Atlanta many a times too, and I'm 60 years old, so I've been down there many a times to Magic City. I actually looked up their merchandise that's on there. There really is nothing that's on there that even shows anything like silhouettes of women on poles or anything kind of, outlandish in all honesty. So for a lot of individuals, I just don't think that they probably, it might be a little bit soapboxing if you don't, you might not agree with that, Mike, just saying like, it might not be your thing, but I don't particularly see at my age of kids being fully grown and, even with grandkids, I just don't get too caught up in all that stuff and everything.
But one thing, Kevin, I'll let you make your other point. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with strip clubs. I'm not. And unfortunately, I'm 65 and I started late, so my kids are young and they are in the impressionable stage. And although it doesn't have silhouettes of naked women, when you get the Magic City sweatshirt, when you walk in and little Timmy goes, what is Magic City, Daddy? and then boom, then conversation. Is that a conversation you have to have with your 9-year-old when you take into a basketball game?
No, I agree. It's not well, Mike, in all honesty, sometimes I always get a little bit aggravated when it comes to, how parents do parenting, right, and when it comes to their children. It's like, I could have a hard conversation some time ago with my children about any particular thing and just be very straightforward with it, because there are a lot of things they can see on TV, hear it and everything. And if I have to explain it, I have to explain it. And when the gentleman Jose, and I give him his props in reference to, because I get more aggravated when it comes to the whole game. It was I laugh because it's like, no sooner than you're finished, whatever, I did a FanDuel ad. Yep. FanDuel. I laughed my butt off. I was like, that's so funny. But let me get my Knicks, all right?
Yep.
I had to stop you guys from – I'll make it quick, Mike. I had to stop you guys from giving Mikal Bridges the out of being inconsistent. No, he's not inconsistent. He's bloody weak. He's disgustingly weak. I said last week, fadeaways on fadeaways is what he does. He disgusts me now. And Leon Rose, oh, my God, 5 picks and to top it off, an extension. He had to take some hits for this one. Thanks a lot, Mike. Talk to you later.
Yeah, the extension, I think he was forced into the extension, Kev, because he paid the 5 first-round draft picks. So if he loses them after 1 year, it kind of looks really bad. So they were kind of handcuffed. And to Bridges' credit, he did take fewer dollars than the maximum. Not much, but fewer dollars than the maximum to stay with the Knicks. I don't know if he's weak, because he does have great games. He's inconsistent. But he does not like contact, so if that's what you mean about weak. Now, as for like the ads that we do on the show, hey, if I'm telling you, I'm going to be totally honest. If the Hustler Club came to us and said, we'll take out ads, I guess it would be up to ESPN and Good Karma. I'm sure it would be considered. I mean, you're listening to sports talk radio, which is your choice. But if you're taking a family to a basketball game, does that have to be thrown in your face? And you can say, well, there's kids listening to this and we're doing gambling at all. Listen, the world is completely different than it used to be. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily better. It's completely different. Completely different. What have you thought about the celebrations in the WBC? You think it should be brought into Major League Baseball? We'll talk about that when we get back right here on the K Show, rolling until 3 on ESPN New York.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite awards show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils protect their home ice, Viking Pest Control protects your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils, Viking brings 45 years of trusted experience and expert service to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, and even mosquitoes out of your zone. Their local team builds a personalized game plan that actually works. And when you bundle pest control and mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Protecting your home inside and out.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge, or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Be part of it isn't just a slogan. 2026 season tickets are on sale now, and this is your chance to join the tradition and legacy of the New York Yankees. Purchase a plan and enjoy the best seat locations, significant savings, and flexible payment options. Plans start at just 9 games. Log on to Yankees.com, call 212-YANKEES, or email seasontickets@Yankees.com. For 2026 Yankees season tickets, email seasontickets@Yankees.com today.
Empower. Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang, sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at Empower.com.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. And you know I love my cake. So I get that big birthday energy without any sugar guilt. The bottle's small, easy to toss in my bag, and perfect when I need a quick, tasty caffeine boost to cakeify my day. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
A lot of stuff going on the legal tampering period in the NFL free agency. Now, Jets still looking for a quarterback. One of the possibilities off the board, Malik Willis, lands in Miami. And most people thought the Jets wouldn't entertain that because that was going to be too much money. And it was. Also, the Jets ended up losing Nick Folk. He signs a 2-year contract with the Falcons. He's 41 years old. So he will return for his 20th NFL season. Giants get a new punter. The punter from Baltimore gets a 3-year deal, highest paid punter now in the NFL, reuniting with John Harbaugh. So we are following all of this. We have our full ESPN contingent working on it, Schefter and all. Big move. Kenneth Walker, the MVP of the Super Bowl, ends up signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. So that leaves Seattle with Zach Charbonnet, who had 12 touchdowns, but he didn't play in the Super Bowl because he was injured, tore his ACL late. So he's going to take most of the snaps, I would say, and Kenneth Walker ends up going to the Chiefs, and Travis Kelce is coming back as well for the Chiefs. So the WBC has been a blast if you're watching it. I think people over the last couple of days kind of misconstrue what I say. I think it's fun. I think the intensity is great for the games. Fans love it. The players seem to love it as well. The only problem that I have with it is if I was the owner of a team, I'm not quite certain I'd want my guys playing in such high-intensity games the beginning of March. That's it. That's it. It's the only problem I have with it, when it's actually held. But that's a point that's been made over and over, somewhat tiresome, I'm sure. Wan'Dale Robinson, 4 years, $70 million to the Titans. So the Giants wanted him back. They didn't want to spend that much money on a slot receiver. So Robinson had a 1,000-yard season last year for the Giants. 4 years, $70 million. The deal has an upside up to $78 million, according to Jordan Schultz. So Wan'Dale Robinson off the board for the Giants. So we'll see if they bring back Illuminor as another guy they want back, but they don't have that much money in terms of room under the cap, so they've got to get very, very creative. Now, they could create more room by releasing people and the like, but We'll see exactly what they do. So Wan'Dale Robinson is gone as a slot receiver for the Giants because the Giants didn't want to spend that much money for a slot receiver. Anyway, getting back to WBC. So the Dominican Republic is leading Israel right now to move to the next stage. And you see the celebrations for the players. Juan Soto has been having a blast. Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado. I mean, just joyous celebrations. And it doesn't happen that much in Major League Baseball. And the thing that gets me about that is the old guard gets blamed for it. A lot of the old guard in the media gets blamed for that as well. But let me let you in on a little secret. You know who doesn't like it? The players that have it happen to them. Those are the guys that don't like it. So if you celebrate a fourth inning home run the way some of these guys celebrate fourth inning home runs in the WBC, you're going to get drilled. Or one of your teammates is going to get drilled. It's the players that don't like it. They could blame it on old school baseball. Maybe that is it. Maybe that's what's been handed down from older players that, don't show people up. And I love when people explain, well, I'm not showing it up, I'm just showing true emotion. But your true emotion might be showing the person up that gave up the home run. And the person that gave up the home run doesn't like to be shown up. So when we talk about why don't they do that in Major League Baseball, it's because of Major League Baseball players, for the most part. They don't like it. I've seen it. I've seen the celebration lead to somebody getting plunked. So if you eliminate that and tell, Rob Manfred has come out and said, well, let the players be the players. Let the players be themselves. Let the players be kids. Then, you know what? I don't know if the players got the memo. That's the problem. I'm not sure the players have gotten the memo on that. So tell all the players, we want the guys to do cartwheels around the bases. We want to show that exuberance and the joy. And we don't want anybody retaliating by getting into fights. Let's see how that works. Don't blame the old guard in the media. No. And there are some people in the media that don't like that. I don't care. I mean, we're in the entertainment business. If that's entertaining, then entertain. Entertain me. But you got to tell the players that it's cool. You got to tell all the players. You got to tell the veteran pitchers that it's cool. Because if you do that against Max Scherzer, I'm not sure it's going to go well. If you do that against Garrett Cole, I'm not sure it's going to go well. Really not. So I think that those that want those celebrations, they're blaming the wrong people. Now in the WBC, players aren't retaliating. They're not. They want it. They think it's fun. Maybe they look at this as some sort of outside the rules entertainment vehicle. Great. And I'm all for it. And I'm not going to be the one looking down my nose and say, well, that's not what Bobby Mercer did. That's not what Willie Mays did. That's not what Hank Aaron did. Mickey Mantle hit a home run, lower his head, and go around the bases. Maybe Paul O'Neill doesn't like it. But it's not for others to like it or not. What's good for baseball? What's good for bringing in more fans? Because the fans seem to love it. In the games in Puerto Rico, in the games where the Dominican Republic is playing, the Japanese players are having big celebrations. All of that is cool, man. But tell the players, and don't blame the old guard. Don't blame them, because some things are handed down. This isn't cool. We don't show people up. Again, laughable. To me, that's the worst thing. Because it's the old guard of, well, you're showing up the pitcher, or the other guy, well, I'm not showing up anybody. I'm just naturally happy that I got the home run. It could be both. It could be both. But if the commissioner gets together with Bruce Meyer, the head of the Players Association, and says, okay, we want these kind of celebrations in Major League Baseball games. And you got to tell the players they can't retaliate. Let's see how that works out. Let's see how it works out. Let's go to Calvin in the Washington Heights. Calvin, what's up?
Michael K., I'm a huge fan of yours for many years. Michael, I love the celebration, but the baseball, with the games that's going on, Mike, is like, this is how some countries, how they play down in their respective countries, and how they, this is how they celebrate, this is how the fan interact. If you watch some of these games, especially I was listening to the one on Friday, it is seeing like Manny Machado do these plays. The fans are screaming. It feels like a World Series game because the place is shaking. It's unbelievable. And for some fans like myself, I can say this feels like the 1992 Olympics for the team. You have 5 of the best position players all over baseball in one team playing. I know this is not in many people's the Olympics, but in many people's eyes, this is the Olympics for baseball because you cannot play it during the season because the best players are playing during the Major League Baseball season. So when you see Juan Soto playing this great and Tatis Jr. and all of them, is pride on the line, and you're like, you want to make it, you want to win, and you want to represent your country.
You like right? You like the celebrations, okay? Now what
I love baseball too.
Right,
I'm a huge passionate fan. Say it again.
What team in Major League Baseball are you a fan of?
I'm a huge baseball fan in general. I follow the Mets, but I follow everybody.
Okay.
I want to make a second point before you let me go.
I'll let you finish. Let's say that the Mets are playing the Padres, and Tatis hits a big home run, or Machado, and is dancing around the bases. You be cool with it as a Met fan?
Yeah. I'll be cool with it. It's fine because I understand if it's an emotional. Baseball is a kid's game. You got to play it. You got to enjoy it. If you're a passionate fan and you're into it, yes, I'm fine with it.
But then we got to make sure that the pitcher, let's say Clay Holmes gave it up, or Peralta, that they got to be cool with it.
We understand that the unwritten rules of baseball. As a passionate fan as I am, I understand the unwritten rules of baseball, and that comes with some of the consequences of the game. I understand that as well, but you just enjoy it. Look how passionate the games are. I've told someone in my office, hey, look at Machado's play on Friday. He's not a baseball fan. He went crazy looking at the play, like, wow, that's amazing. And him giving high fives to the fans, taking pictures with the fans. You live it. I wanted to say something before you let me go. This guy from Junior Caminero from Tampa Bay, I honestly believe he's going to be a Yankee in the future. He's going to be a Yankee or the Mets. Tampa Bay cannot afford him. They can't pay him. He's there replacing Jose Ramirez because Jose Ramirez's wife is giving birth. If she gives birth, he'll come in the second round.
Right.
And he was supposed to be a water boy. This guy is so humble. He said he wanted to just be a water boy because he knew he was going to make it to the starting lineup because it was supposed to be Rafael Devers or Jose Ramirez. I want this guy either in the Yankee uniform, and I'm pretty sure he'll make it there, or to the Mets, because Tampa Bay cannot pay a player like him. He's only 22 years old, and he loves the pressure moments.
Well,
I enjoy this class.
They have him in control for 4 more years.
I agree.
So
I know, but they usually trade their players.
We have to see what the new CBA says, because if there's a salary cap, then maybe they could keep him. I mean, that's what this whole upcoming labor thing is about. So if teams can only spend a certain amount and they have to spend a certain amount, maybe Tampa Bay could keep Junior Caminero. Caminero is a stud. At his age, the ability he has, I mean, somehow, some way, I think Tampa Bay got him in a trade with the Cardinals. They find these guys. Their organization's unbelievable. He is a legitimate stud. Now, where he ends up playing, I hope he gets to stay in Tampa Bay, but we shall see. Let's go to Jason in Florida City. Jason.
Hey, Michael. Hope all is well. Huge fan. I called in last week. I wanted to make a point about the celebrations in WBC.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm cool with it now. It's an exhibition. It's only for a month, and we only get this every 3-4 years. So I'm cool with it now. It's definitely great for the nationality of it and the pride that the guys play with. But yeah, to have it every day like in the regular season, I'm totally not for. And even my family's from Puerto Rico, so I went insane when Hernandez hit that home run that won the game the other night. I went insane, and when he celebrated, all for that. But in the regular season, maybe not so much.
But I'll tell you what, Jason. Let's be honest. If anybody celebrated like that in the World Series, the next guy might get thrown at. I'm telling you, it's just different in the majors. I don't know why, but it is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he'd get plunked, and it'd probably be a benches clearing brawl. But again, it's exhibition. It's national pride. I think I'm okay with it now. But like every day in the regular season, especially some of these guys are celebrating, fourth inning home runs. I think that's a little much.
You know what? When you know what's gotten me, Jason, I wonder if a lot of you guys feel like this as well. The WBC is 20 years old, and it is part of the zeitgeist now in baseball because it's hard. There might be Major League Baseball in the Olympics in 2028 in L.A. They're going to try to work that out in the basic agreement because Bryce Harper said, this is great, but it's not the Olympics. And he's right. If you look at this, which is 20 years old, and then if baseball was put into the Olympics, just times it by 1,000 in terms of the intensity and what the players would feel and the national pride and things like that. So I hope it does get to be part of the Olympics in 2028. But it's hard. But the players have to decide what do they want to fight for, because that was one of the things that the NHL players fought for. They wanted to play in the Olympics. It was that important to them. And when they were negotiating a basic agreement, they made sure that they told Gary Bettman, this is really, really important to us. Now, basketball doesn't have to deal with it because it's a summer Olympic sport, so there is no NBA. So maybe the best thing for baseball would be have it be part of the Winter Olympics. Build a dome stadium wherever the Winter Olympics are. It doesn't matter what it is outside. If it's 20 degrees and snowing, still play baseball. This way, you don't have to stop the sport. Does baseball feel that it can survive stopping its sport for 2.5 weeks for the Olympics? I don't know. Or would they continue their sport without their best players? I don't think that's wise either. Let's go to Tom and Bethpage. Tom.
Yeah, Michael, my thing is there's a time and place, and I think where you're wrong is that WBC is a playoff atmosphere, okay? Yeah. Now, in October in MLB, the players do that. Remember when Vladimir Guerrero dove into home plate like Superman in the Yankee series because he wanted to beat the Yankees and the Batista is going. That they do that in October. They're not going to do it in the Saturday afternoon game in June.
No, but I will tell you, those are few and far between. If you watch the Dodgers and the Blue Jays World Series, which was, fraught with tension, every single out meant so much, you didn't see celebrations to that extent. You just didn't. The celebrations you see at the WBC, they're a blast. I've never seen them in the World Series. Also, what I found interesting, a lot of the players have been interviewed. The guys from the United States, they will not go so far as to say that winning the WBC is more important than the World Series. But the guys from other countries, like Japan and the Dominican and Puerto Rico, they do say the WBC is more important than the World Series. Again, that's hard for me, who grew up here in New York, and the World Series was a be-all, end-all. Hard for me to understand, but it's not for me to understand. But I don't think that the American players feel like that. Still, the top for them is the World Series. But for the other players from other countries, they seem like the WBC is bigger. They seem like it's bigger. Let's go to Gilberto in the truck. What's up, Gil?
What's up? Hey, Big K, what's up, man? Yo,
all good.
Mike, God bless your family, by the way, everybody. Mike, I'm with you, man. I'm old school. Okay, I'm a baby boomer. I don't care who's listening out there. There's no cultural institution that's a strip club. I don't care how many movies it was in. The dude that was trying to reason with you and explain to you why it was a cultural institution is brainwashed, because that's the only culture that he grew up in. A culture that's a cesspool, a culture that has no morality. And I don't care who comes on this, I will discuss it with them and tell them, make your points on where a strip joint is a cultural institution, and you would associate that by bringing your family there. If you do, then there's other words to put behind that too for that person. But I agree with you 100%. Stick to your guns, Mike. You're the only one that brings these things to light. A lot of times, Mike, you know that. Okay, even though you don't get the credit for it, you bring it to light. So
well, I don't get the credit, but I get the blame. Listen, I'm not casting aspersions on strip clubs. I'm not. Again, I don't want to repeat myself, but for those that are just tuning in, strip clubs are what they are. And as long as people are working there, on their own volition. They're not forced or anything like that. And people want to go and they want to see people take their clothes off. Go for it. Enjoy yourself. I told you last week, I was never a strip club guy. Not because I'm, morally above that. No, I am not. I'm not. But I've never seen people go to a strip club and kind of leave with the stripper. So, you're just sitting there and what are you doing? You're getting excited by the performance, and that's it. Now, once you go past that, then it becomes something that you could say is morally wrong. But again, this is not about the strip club. It's not about Magic City, the institution. It's about the Hawks celebrating it. When I keep hearing cultural institution, you should be able to bring your kids there. I don't think you can bring your kids to Magic City. Maybe the takeout portion to get the wings, but you're not taking them into Magic City to see what's going on there. You're just not. But when they bring up cultural, even Mike, who called in earlier that reignited all of this, he said, when I said cultural institute, I meant, part of black culture. There's other things that are part of black culture too that can be celebrated by everybody. That you want to own this because it's owned by African Americans. Okay, does that make it a cultural institution? And I have a lot of people that travel, basketball teams, whatever, and they love Atlanta. They love Atlanta strip clubs. Okay, great. I don't down my nose at them. I just don't. But, is that what the Hawks should be connecting with? That's my only point. Lucas in Alabama. What's up, Lucas?
Mr. K, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
So, I find it hilarious what you were talking about. It's like paying for the thing you just touched on. It's like paying for the fajita meal at a Mexican restaurant and just being satisfied with the smell when it walks by. But I got two questions for you.
You said it better than I could.
The first one is I went down to watch the spring training game, and I watched the challenge system firsthand, and I was shocked to see the catcher get 3 out of 4 calls right. So I'm wondering, how close are we to implementing this into the game? Because those 3 calls could make or break a game.
But it is implemented in the game. It's going to be part of the regular season. You mean for every pitch?
Year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The
well,
rule,
that
Lucas,
answers that.
The rule is each team gets 2 challenges, and if you get the challenge right, you keep it.
Perfect, because I really enjoyed that. And my second question is going to be for the WBC. Since the MLB is so heavy on players being in the WBC, why don't they front the bill to insure these players? Well, mainly protect the teams. So if anything happens, like what happened with Edwin Diaz, the team itself actually has something to fall back on, where if it happens now, you're just kind of
Lucas, every single player that plays in the WBC is insured. So the Mets, they didn't have to pay Edwin Diaz his $20 million salary. They got that back. But he got paid his $20 million salary from insurance. But if you're a Major League Baseball team, you don't want to lose the player. Forget about the money. You lose the player. That's a crippling thing. The Mets lost Edwin Diaz, and they lost the season. They lost the season, and Buck Showalter lost his job. So there are ramifications to losing the player. The player is more valuable than the $20 million to a lot of teams. But every single player, that's why Puerto Rico had a hard time, fielding a team, and although they put together a really good team, because a lot of the players couldn't be insured. Correa couldn't be insured because of all of the foot problems. Lindor could not be insured. And that turned out to be a moot point anyway, because he had hamate surgery, so he wouldn't have been able to play anyway. But everybody that plays is definitely insured. Hey, right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days if your bet loses. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That's 10 chances to play all tourney long, from game props and money lines to spreads, totals, futures, and more. You can even mix things up with same-game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to fill out your bracket, FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the action day after day. So visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. FanDuel, it's time to dance. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Must apply select token each day. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Monday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Can the Knicks bounce back tonight against the Clippers? NFL free agency has begun, and the Jets have already been active as they land safety Minkah Fitzpatrick.
I love this trade. Love this trade for the Jets. Adding Minkah Fitzpatrick for really only money and putting that into your secondary right now, that's a good trade for the Jets.
What will the Giants do? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Attention New York Verizon mobile customers. Score a massive win with award-winning Fios Home Internet for an incredible $20 a month guaranteed for 3 years. Switch today for savings you can count on. Call 1-800-VERIZON now. For new Fios customers with AutoPay, mobile and home discount enrollment required. 3-year price guarantee applies to the Fios-based monthly rate only. Additional terms apply.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This is Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York.
The Jets making a trade with Miami Dolphins for Minkah Fitzpatrick, and the Jets gave him an extension.
Once again, you have to give credit to Muji. You say that they gave him an extension already, so that's going to soften the blow on the salary cap. And this just should be the first of many moves. Now that allows you to address something else and see what else falls to you. Just plug in holes. That's all you can do at this point.
Bart Scott, Chris Carlin, weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right, it almost feels wrong. Because right now, you can get great deals on our most popular models, including our adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid and the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Plus, there's our bold and stylish Elantra, loaded with the latest tech. Or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 9. So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll love during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details.
Progressive presents ways to save money that aren't bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive.
I can't believe the deal we got on these seats for the game.
Wow, they must be pretty high up here. I think my ears just popped.
Yeah, here, put this on.
Is that an oxygen mask?
An official team oxygen mask.
Well, I can kind of see the field.
Good, your senses are still sharp. You're going to need them for phase 2 of the ascent.
Don't save money by sitting in the nosebleeds. You could save hundreds by switching to Progressive. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
You know, we talk about tanking a lot and how bad it is for the NBA. It's bad for any sport, but it's particularly blatant this year in the NBA. And Adam Silver said that he's going to make some changes. I'm not sure that the changes that have been proposed are going to change all that much. I've given you my solution, but I don't think people are going to do it. But that would be perfect. But that's just me thinking a lot of me. But one part of the tanking situation that we don't really talk about that much, we talk about, is it fair to patrons for a team not trying to win? Is it fair for people that buy tickets for a team to take the court and they're really not trying their best to win? Is it fair for season ticket holders for a team when their team is built not to win that year, but to get the best draft position they could get? Is it fair to the broadcast partners that a team that's playing another team would be tanking, or load management, whatever the case may be? But that's another story. But one thing that's not talked about a lot is the impact that tanking is going to have on teams that are jockeying for playoff position. Think about it. So the Knicks, they have 17 games remaining, and a lot of the 17 games are against teams that have no desire to win the games. None. They want to lose. They want to get as many ping pong balls as they can to get the top draft pick. Maybe it's AJ DeBenson, or whatever player you think it might be. Is it fair to a team that the Knicks are battling against, like the Cavs or the Celtics, that might not be playing these tanking teams? So not only do the tanking teams make the league look awful that they're tanking, but they are affecting playoff positioning. It's not like Adam Silver could give a call to a tanking team and said, listen, you're playing a game today that has a big impact on the seeding in the playoffs, so I need you to play all your guys and I need you to try to win this game. Imagine that we're even talking about this. Imagine how ridiculous this is. That playoff positioning and whether or not you can get through the first round, the second round, maybe even get through the championship round, will be impacted by playing teams that don't want to win. How's that good for the credibility of the sport? Please think about that. Don't just think about all the other stuff that we talk about a lot. Ripping fans off, taking a year out of an organization's life that they'll never get back. All of that. We definitely hit on that. But now it's impacting playoff positioning. So if you impact playoff positioning by playing teams that tank, then you're impacting who's going to win a championship. Possibly impacting who's going to win a championship. Please, somehow defend that. I think it's absolutely indefensible and just adds another layer to the outrage that people should have about tanking. Hey, you got to see Don Hahn and Rosenberg live from the Irish Exit at Moynihan Train Hall this Friday, March 13th, before the semifinal round of the Big East Tournament. Stop by before heading into the Garden or before your commute home. Don Hahn and Rosenberg live from the Irish Exit at Moynihan Train Hall starting at 3 p.m. Friday, March 13th. Just steps away from Madison Square Garden and Penn Station. It's brought to you by Schweppes. Above the rim refreshment, feel the madness and refresh your game with a Schweppes Seltzer or Schweppes Ginger Ale. And Sam Adams and Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Available at Jack Doyle's and John Sullivan's. You must be 21 or older to purchase. Please drink responsibly. Another thing I wanted to talk about with the WBC, and it certainly is providing fodder for people that troll. And in this case, it's providing fodder for Yankee fans to troll. And I think it's unfair. So you could see that Juan Soto is having an absolute, by the way, according to Adam Schefter, Mike Evans 3-year deal with the 49ers, who are a little short on wide receivers, so they get a veteran stud. Mike Evans, 3-year deal with the 49ers. Still don't know the totals. So Soto is having a blast playing for the Dominican Republic. He had a dramatic walk-off home run, a mercy rule home run. The coach wanted to take him out. He didn't want to come out. So he's having, you could see it on his face. He's just overjoyed by playing for the Dominican and the WBC. And he said that this ranks up with the most fun years of his career, 2019 and 2024. So you know that Yankee fans who want to troll Met fans are going to bring that up. Well, see, he enjoyed being with the Yankees more than he enjoyed being with the Mets. But let's try to add, let's be kind and try to add context to what Soto was saying. 2019 and 2024 were great years for the teams that he played for. So 2024, he went to the World Series. 2019, long run in the playoffs with the Nats. Why wouldn't he have a blast in those years? Now, there's not a Met fan out there that would think that he would say that 2025 was the most fun. Why would it be fun? It was an abject failure. An abject failure. So it's never going to be on his list of fun years. If the Mets go to the World Series this year, I'm sure that he's interviewed the next WBC. He said, this is the most fun I've had, like 2019, 24, and 26. When you go to the World Series, you're going to have fun. So why use that as a cudgel now? But the one thing that does come out to me is I don't ever want to hear that money doesn't move the needle. Because I saw with my own eyes how much Soto enjoyed being a Yankee in 2024. And part of that enjoyment was he had a great year. The team went to the World Series. He had big hits in the postseason. That big home run against Cleveland, which is, a legendary home run. And he loved the year that he had with the Yankees. And he went to the Mets. And he went to the Mets because they offered a better package, more money. And people say, it's not that much more. It's a lot more. Because after it kicks in that he could opt out after 5 years, that they up his salary another $5 million a year for the final 10 years, it's a lot more money. Also, the extra incentives. The seats, 22 seats, the most expensive seats in the ballpark for every home game, the suite. And I'm not begrudging him that. But when anybody signs a contract, they go, well, there's always underlying factors that aren't about money. Mike Hampton, signed with the Rockies because of the great educational system in Colorado. Nonsense. It was nonsense then. It's nonsense now. And, Soto supposedly signed with the Mets because, he saw a better future for them than he saw with the Yankees. He might have seen that, but if the Yankees offered him more money, he would have overlooked that. The Mets offered more money. Doesn't make it wrong. He had every right to take the most money. He earned that right. But Yankee fans, you can't, you got to, I see it building on social media now, how you're going to jump FC, like being a Yankee more than a Met. Well, why would he have liked 2025, the way that season went? What right-minded individual would enjoy that year? So I'm not going to knock him. He was giddy the way the WBC's going for the Dominican team, which is a great team, by the way. I mean, star-studded team. But don't be, starting fights with Met fans for no reason, because that's what it is. He gave a rational answer to a question, and he was caught up in the moment. I mean, players should realize that their words do have some weight, so he actually did give Yankee fans some ammunition to go back at Met fans, but I don't think it's fair. Maybe he absolutely loves being a Met, but in terms of the season, he didn't enjoy it. Why would he enjoy not making the playoffs after going to the World Series the previous year? So all I'm saying, I'm being the voice of reason this time. Don't jump the Met fans. Don't use this as some kind of cudgel against them that Soto really wants to be a Yankee. No, he's a Met. He's a Met for at least 14 more years. He's a Met. He's not saying that he regrets it. Is he saying he regrets that he was traded from he loved playing for the Nationals. But the Nationals knew they couldn't sign him, so they traded him to San Diego. San Diego knew it wasn't going to sign him, so they traded him to the Yankees. Yankees tried to sign him. He signed with the Mets. These things happen. 1-800-919-3776. Let's talk. We go to Rico in Buffalo. Rico.
Michael, how are you, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Look, it's all about the money. And anybody that doesn't see that has been educated into imbecility. That's all I can say. All right? Soto loved playing here. The fans loved him. He had a great year, but then the Mets offered him ridiculous money. How do you expect him not to take the money?
I don't begrudge him that at all.
Exactly. How could you?
Nope.
Here's my other thing, Michael. The WBC. Okay. I like it to a point. It's popular, but I think it's very popular because people haven't seen a baseball game in 6 months.
I don't know about that, Rico. Because but listen, they haven't seen a baseball game in 5-6 months, but they wouldn't get this excited about a spring training game. These are important games for people of the countries that they're rooting for. I mean, if you see the sheer joy taking place in the games in Puerto Rico and the ones in the Far East, I mean, these games mean something to the fans because it's national pride. The players are playing for the name on the country and the hat, that the name on the front of the they are. Let's not dismiss that. Let's not dismiss that. It is what it is. I'm not going to diminish this. They love it. Listen, I question why players would think this is a bigger deal than the World Series. Since they're getting paid a lot of money to try to win World Series, not getting paid any money for the WBC, but country over dollar, okay, and that's the way that they look at it. I'm not going to say they're wrong. I can't say their feelings are wrong, right? But you can't say it's just because people haven't seen baseball. People see baseball in Latin America all winter. So they've been seeing baseball for a while, and they're still going crazy over this. I think you're diminishing it, Rico, and you really shouldn't. Let's go to Dave in Westchester.
Hey, how you doing, Michael? I got a few points. Hopefully I can get to all of them. The first one I'll start out with is, I'm an Italian-American. And so, some of my friends' parents were born there, and some of my friends' grandparents were born there. In the World Cup, if Italy plays USA, we're all together rooting for Italy. We're not rooting for America. We care less about America. Okay, if it's not for Italy, we're not alive. So I have a lot of pride in that. I'll root against any Italian team, baseball team against the American team. That's just the way I am. That's the way I am. That's the way a whole bunch of my friends are. And I have friends of all different races. With my Italian friends, we root for the Italian team. We have a lot of pride in being Italian. I'm not white. I'm Italian. That's one point. The other point is Juan Soto. Okay, I would love to know if you can explain to everybody what can you do better than I can do. If you have $765 million and I have $700 million, what are you going to do? Buy 3 more boats? Buy 2 more cars? Buy 5 more houses in
Dave, you know the answer
to that. What
are
you going to do?
You know the answer. It's how people keep score. That's how athletes keep score. Who makes the most money?
That's not how people keep score. There's many athletes.
That's not how you keep score. That's how athletes keep score, and agents keep score, and unions keep score. That's how they keep score.
Let me ask you one question. Is there a decent amount of players who make more than other players who are not as good as the other players?
Of course.
There's players that make $60 million, and there's players that make $40 million, and the players that make $40 million are a lot better. You talk about all these contracts and if they're worth it, if they're not worth it, if this, if that. Juan Soto could care less. They didn't make the playoffs, but the Yankees didn't win World Series. What does he care? The only thing about the World Series you never understand.
Dave, you're losing me. Not making the playoffs is a lot different than losing in the 5th game of the World Series. I'm sorry. It's a lot better season.
Last year they didn't lose in the 5th game of the World Series, okay?
The Yankees didn't make the World Series. I'm just saying that the year he played for the Yankees, they lost in the 5th game of the World Series. The year he played for the Mets, they did not play 163rd game. I don't know how you're losing that. Of course, the year he went to the World Series, he didn't be lost is a more memorable year for him than the utter disappointment and gut-wrenching fact that you didn't even make the playoffs with the highest payroll in baseball. Why is that hard to understand? And you're giving me, well, there are guys that make $40 million that are better than guys that make. Aaron Judge is better than Tucker, and Tucker's going to make $60 million this year. It's how they keep score. So Kyle Tucker might know that Aaron Judge, he knows that Aaron Judge is a better player, but he's making more money than him. It's all according to when you become a free agent and the age when you become a free agent. But to say, well, what could Juan Soto buy with $750 million that he couldn't buy with $735. You're being disingenuous. I mean, what could the guy who makes $6 million this year not buy that the guy's going to make 50? I mean, there are certain levels that it just becomes a joke that there's so much money you can buy whatever you want. But you can't take out the fact that there's a lot of ego and pride involved. That to ignore that, well, you're ignoring reality is what you're doing. Hey, get ready for Pickleball Madness, Friday, March 20th, ESPN New York, taking over Pickleball Heaven in Medford, New York. Catch a live broadcast of DiPietro and Rothenberg starting at 6 a.m. Then stick around for our social ladder pickleball tournament. They'll crown the champion, then roll right into a college hoops watch party to cap off the day. Sign up now on the ESPN New York app. Spots are limited. Pickleball Madness, brought to you by Pickleball Heaven, the new standard of indoor pickleball. Well, Tarik Skubal is going to make a decision in the next hour or so whether or not he's going to go back to the WBC. Which way should he go? What should he do? We'll talk about it and talk with you as we lead you to 3 right here on ESPN New York.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
ZipRecruiter. Hey Yankees fans, gather a group of 10 or more and take advantage of our 2026 Yankees group ticket specials. Whether you're getting together with family and friends, organizing a fundraiser, or entertaining clients, your group will love bonding over the Bronx Bombers. Start planning your 2026 group outings today. Log on to Yankees.com/groups. Call 212-YANKEES or email us at groups@Yankees.com. That's 2026 group tickets. Call 212-YANKEES or visit Yankees.com/groups today.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Rings End is your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. They're your store for quality with a full line of brilliant and durable Benjamin Moore paints. They're your store for inspiration with thousands of colors and a variety of sheens. And Rings End is your store for expertise with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. Insist on Benjamin Moore paint from Rings End because the gorgeous color you love can't be matched in another brand of paint.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it Fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Rich Eisen here. For small businesses, every hire counts, and so does your time. Hiring can quickly become overwhelming, from sorting applications to figuring out who's truly qualified. That's where LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps. It streamlines the process so you can focus on connecting with the right candidates, not managing the noise. Hire right the first time. Post your job and get $100 off towards your job post at linkedin.com/Eisen. That's linkedin.com/Eisen. Terms and conditions apply.
Join ESPN New York for a huge rivalry night at the Calandras Italian Village in Caldwell, New Jersey. Play-by-play voice of the Devils, Don LaGreca.
Put a pitchfork in this one.
And the Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg Show are taking over for a special live broadcast and Devils versus Rangers watch party on Wednesday, March 18th. Join the guys starting at 3 p.m. for a special happy hour and broadcast. Then stick around for the 7 p.m. puck drop with big screens, great food, and the best fans in hockey all under one roof. Reservations are recommended. Brought to you by Calandras Italian Village.
All right, let me throw this out here just for fun. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. So, international competition makes strange bedfellows, right? So, see if you follow me here. You're a Met fan, but you're an American. You're born and raised in the USA. And the WBC final comes down to the USA against the Dominican. USA has a 1-run lead in the 9th inning. 2 outs. Juan Soto's at the plate. Again, you're a big Met fan. On the mound for the USA to close it out is a Yankee, David Bednar. What are you rooting for? Are you rooting for Bednar to get the out? The glorification of a Yankee, but the USA gets the gold medal? Or are you rooting for Juan Soto to crush one and walk it off for the Dominican, where your country loses, but your most important player gets the glory? What are you doing? I want to know. I need to know. I don't know what your answer would be. Now, Dave from Westchester said, in the World Cup, he's rooting for Italy. He's born and bred in the United States, but his family comes from Italy, and he would be rooting for Italy. But I'm not just throwing where you come from. I'm saying you're born in the United States, you're a huge Met fan, you hate the Yankees, and it's the Dominican against USA. USA could win the WBC if David Bednar gets Juan Soto out. Who are you rooting for? Please tell me. I need to know. Time now for the tournament update brought to you by Schweppes. St. John's Red Storm have secured the first overall seed in the Big East tournament. How about that? They win, and then UConn, which could have had a tie, ends up losing to Marquette, a game that they were not supposed to lose. So UConn will be the second overall seed. That was the tournament update presented by Schweppes. College Hoop's biggest stage is here. Celebrate with Schweppes at ShopRite, 1121 Jerusalem Avenue in Uniondale, and meet former All-Americans Charles Smith and Walter Berry Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And on Friday, that's on Friday, March 13th. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Friday, March 13th. All right, so we mentioned that we talk about Skubal. So Skubal was only supposed to, first he joined the USA team, and there wasn't any thought that he was going to pitch multiple games. But then maybe Scott Boras got to him, and the Tigers gently nudged him, so he's going to pitch that first game. So he gives up a home run on the first pitch of the game, and then pitches like Tarik Skubal after that. And he's so caught up in the emotion of the event, sitting in the room with the best players in the world, talking baseball, and now he's unsure whether or not he wants to depart. He wants to pitch another game, but he's going to have to talk to the Tigers, who seem like they don't want him to pitch another game, and he's going to talk to Scott Boras. Well, the Tigers, I would say, probably shouldn't have any say about it, because teams should not stop their players from playing the WBC, because the WBC is a Major League Baseball initiative, and that's why teams who, if they had truth serum injected to them, would never want their players to play in the WBC, because they don't want them to get hurt. They shouldn't have a say in it. But it's funny, he's checking with Scott Boras, who's his agent. My thing to Tarik would be, what do you want to do? Because I don't think he could be wrong either way. If he wants to continue to pitch in the WBC, it's his life. He's putting all of that money in jeopardy because he might make $50 million a year as a free agent. Imagine if he wins a third straight Cy Young, he might make $50 million a year, 10-year deal, $500 million. Let's say he blows his shoulder out the next pitch he throws for the WBC. All that money is gone. Gone. It'll be interesting to see. It's supposed to be any minute now in the next hour or so whether or not he will pitch again for the WBC. There's one other aspect. If he pitches again, and let's say he ends up pitching in the championship game of the WBC rather than Nolan McLean, then he will not be able to start the opener for the Tigers because there's 8 days between it, and he'd have to throw again in 5 days, and then he wouldn't be ready for the opener. Now, what does the opener mean in a 162-game season? I guess just the pomp and circumstance of it. I'm very intrigued to see what this decision is going to be. Daniel in Staten Island, finish it up for us, Daniel.
Hey, Michael. I just wanted to weigh in on home field advantage. Home field advantage has been diminishing through time. It's about a 54% win rate, both regular season and championship, which is less than a half a game. Mm-hmm. I don't think it matters as much as people say it does. Tanking sucks, but it doesn't matter in the end of the matchup.
Yeah, I mean, but you're throwing numbers at me, and the Knicks certainly proved that last year, Daniel. They won 3 games in Detroit. But if you're playing in the Eastern Conference Finals and you're the Knicks, would you rather be playing at Madison Square Garden or would you rather be playing at the Pistons home court? So you can give me 54%. There's something to be said, play that last game in front of your fans. And the point I was making, nothing should ever be decided because the team is losing on purpose. It takes away the legitimacy of the sport. Whether or not you believe in home field advantage or not, the seedings for playoffs should not be decided because one team plays more tanking teams than the other team. And it just makes the sport look minor league and makes it look really, really bad. You know what's really, really good, though? Don Hahn and Rosenberg. What a show. Every day, they just bring it hard. Yeah, they do. So stick around. They're coming up next. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. See everybody. Talk to you tomorrow at 1.
Rangers fans, it's time for hockey, and the action starts on Tuesday at Rivercrest with Team ESPN and Ultra. Whether you need a pregame spot or you're looking for the right Rangers bar to watch the game versus the Flames, Rivercrest is your destination.